Yeah, thank you so much. I really want to thank Lineage for being such an amazing partner. It was such an exciting event that happened last year, and to see that it's now growing, and I already knew that that was going to happen from the first meeting because of how successful it was. Thrilled to be here, and thanks to all the sponsors. I'm just going to give really brief remarks to talk about our research vision at the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation. It's really encaptured by these three research pillars called Catalyze, Energize, and Educate. But before I do that, I want to stress that we have a very holistic organization, and it's captured in our motto of today's care and tomorrow's cure. And you can see on this slide the ways that we've been able to touch the lives of individuals living with SCI, how we're one of the first places that a lot of folks come to when there is an injury. And you can see up there 125,000 families that have received one-on-one calls over many different languages, a Reeve Summit that we carry out, which is, I think, very impactful, that really listens a lot to the SCI community, advocacy and policy program, Team Reeve and funding and raising money, quality of life grants that make an incredible impact on nonprofits that are in need to increase accessibility, the Paralysis Resource Guide, the Peer and Family Support Program. There is a lot there that is being done with today's care, and I think it's one of the main go-to places for support. And we're also really trying to grow our research program. And I was brought into the Reeve Foundation about 2 years ago. I have a background in nonprofit, a background in industry, and I really want to drive the research program so that we are doing the things that are really needed to make our clinical pipeline program more robust. So the clinical pipeline, all the different trials that are going through phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, before that pivotal trial to get regulatory approval, could be more robust. We can have more trials. We can make sure that the trials are diverse and not just going after one biological target or one therapeutic approach. And we can really do everything we can to ensure that the clinical trials are going to be smart. Smart in a sense that given the attrition rate, given all the trials that fail, what can we do so that we learn from these trials? So what can we do to understand more about biomarkers so that we can, from a trial that doesn't meet its primary or secondary endpoints, that we can pivot and get to the right trial that is going to help individuals living with SCI. That is the basis of our new research program that we have, encompassed by these three pillars. The first one that we call Catalyze, and in essence, this is capturing a pipeline of early translational work all the way to phase 1 clinical trials, that kind of proof of concept trials that are high risk, high reward, that if we feel that we're not funding them, no one else is going to fund them. So just recently, we've been supporting programs to see if epidural stimulation, for example, can be applied to bladder dysfunction and not just to movement. That's pretty high risk because we don't know if that's a safe and feasible approach of using epidural stimulation. If we go to the third pillar at the end, educate, this is something that I think is really crucial for the field. We need to ensure that there's more data sharing. We need to ensure that there are research tools and services that are available for the community. And we started a very exciting project called STRIVE, which stands for Standardized Testing Research in Vivo Endeavor, that Joanna Stanica, who's on our scientific advisory board, and you're right over there, came up with this idea. You know, we don't really have this in our community of contract research organizations that you can go to quickly test some of your potential therapeutics. Instead, we have to recreate the wheel and in our lab generate animal models. And what would happen if these are all set up, standardized, validated, we have a sort of a stamp of approval, and now you can save a lot of resources and time by going directly to those contract research organizations and getting standardized experimentation done on your therapeutics. So this is something that we worked with. It's called STRIVE, and the company, the first company that we've been working with on this is Psychogenics, and we also have representation here from Psychogenics in the audience, which is wonderful. And then finally, the Energize pillar. This is a pillar that encompasses the need for there to be more industry engagement, and I think that's captured in this meeting. And when Brian reached out to me about ways to collaborate, this is crucial to ensure that we're not all working in silos, that you don't just have academic groups doing their thing, and industry doing their thing, but how can we be working together? Because these are really complex problems, and I am very certain that we can find these pre-competitive spaces that we can be working together. So very excited about this partnership with Lineage Cell Therapeutics. Very excited about this initiative that you are going to hear a lot more about, patient-focused drug discovery, or PFDD, and that will be the next session. We're also extremely proud to be one of the original co-founders of SCI Ventures. You'll hear more about this from the executive manager of SCI Ventures, Adrian Cohen, who I'm sure is here in the room, and there he is right over there. And he'll also be moderating a panel along with Jack Allen of 6 preclinical companies that are right on the cusp of getting into the clinic or have started to explore doing some clinical work. And I think that's really crucial and a great expansion of the meeting that we had last year where we were focused on clinical trials. Now we're seeing all of the exciting, innovative science that is happening with companies that are getting ready to go into clinical trials. I think SCI Ventures is going to revolutionize the field and really help to commercialize a lot of the exciting work that is happening. And then finally, we have a specific call out for requests for applications. It's not just for industry groups. It could also be for academia, or if you want to partner with an industry group. But I do feel that there's a gap in the field in a lot of the work, especially with smaller biotech companies where they might not have the resources to do some of the work that large pharma might do upfront. So for example, understanding the potency of your compound, really understanding the mechanism of action of your therapeutic, understanding the pharmacokinetic, pharmacodynamic relationship might not be things that are done upfront with smaller companies or in academia where you're doing drug discovery. And this is to fill that gap. That QR code will give you more information on that type of RFA. And with that, I'm going to pass it back to Brian, I believe.